So the parts that we ignore about us do not just go away, they lurk in the shadows trying to bite you on the butt. In this video, you're going to learn how to do shadow work and how to apply that to your professional life so you can actually leverage that as a powerful tool for your growth and for doing better things in the world. Hi, my name is Henry Tax. I help curious minds to figure out what's next, and this is part 3 of Shadow Works, where we're gonna learn how to understand these parts that we ignore, how to spot them, analyze, and bring that as a powerful tool for growth, productivity, so you can apply that actually for your own success as you do a shift in your life. It doesn't matter if you are working for someone, have a professional career, you're self-employed, or you're starting a business. Things happen in a certain way if we ignore the shadow that lurks within us. And the concept of shadow works that started with Carl Jung, and many other folks use it to further understand the sides of our brain, the sides of our personality that we try to compress, we try to suppress, and we keep outside. And it's very helpful. So we have another tool to spot that once it's happening and bring it to light so we can finally come to terms with who we are and be just more powerful in our actions. Think this way, in professional spaces, we learn always how to project a professional image, right? We learn that we need to be the best version of ourselves for that particular space. We shape our language to sound right. We shape the way that we speak. We shape the way that we dress. We want to be perfect for that context, that professional context that we are acting in. And we learn how to perform strategically, not to embody clarity. We learn how to act in ways that we think are the best ways to achieving the objective that we are looking for, not to be wholesome and to actually connect what we're feeling inside with what we're feeling outside. The point is that slowly, the distance between what we feel and how we act becomes too big, and then that starts to become very costly. Now, a very important part of shadow work is the pattern recognition. For example, if you're in a work environment, you start to see someone, or maybe yourself, micromanaging, maybe the micromanager is afraid of losing control, and that's why he needs to overcompensate micromanaging. You know that a person that has a overly produced personal brand that's always speaking in a way that's enacted with a very sharp looking, a little bit too forceful, while maybe that person is actually trying to cover the fakeness. It feels almost like a way to mitigate and hide the imposter syndrome that is tormented deep inside. You will be impressed how common this is, especially for sales folks that have a certain persona and character outside, but inwardly, they are extremely afraid to show who they are. Or, for example, leaders that are constantly talking about the future vision, describing how wonderful things will be. Maybe you are being this leader, always talking about the future, forgetting that there is a present that needs to be addressed. Or maybe you are in a team with a leader doing exactly that. And if you cut to the chase and see the shadow work that's being enacted right there, you can see the fear of facing reality that often is not pretty. Bottom line is that each of us have seen those patterns. Each of us have acted like that. And once we start to understanding that this kind of emotional signature, this kind of way of behaving is pointing to something deep that needs to be addressed, we find a key to unlock the dark corner and then finally getting some true progress in terms of becoming a wholesome self professionally. So we are more powerful in how we act to get things done. In that moment that we recognize the pattern is the turning point that allows you to truly go and get your homework done. Powerful way of doing that is doing the 3-2-1 framework for shadow work. Ken Wilber developed this simple approach that he called 3-2-1 shadow process. The step one of the 3-2-1 shadow process is name something that bothers you about another person. So grab a piece of paper, name something that bothers you about another person. Step two, speak to it directly. You speak to the person, you speak to the thing directly. Why are you always trying to prove something? This is you speaking to the second person, right? And then step three, you look inside of you, you turn it inward. What's in me that needs that kind of recognition? Why it's in me that needs it? So the 3-2-1 shadow process, you are creating this distance layered approach so you can identify the root cause that is allowing you to act in that weird way. This turns conflict into insight. Every time that you have a situation that you observe shadow work being enacted, you can help it to become a mirror, especially if you are the one that's acting weirdly. And then you can pinpoint and identify the source of that strange behavior that you're experimenting and acting. And this is super powerful, especially when you want to create, as a marketeer, for example, storytelling and personal branding. Because the most powerful brands do not come from fake events. They come from powerful, personal, deeply connected experience. You share your truth, your wholesome truth, all sides of you in a unique way. That's how you get brands that change the world. It's not only showing the bright side, it's integrating all into something that's truly powerful and truly impactful. Brands that do not integrate all those sides, even if people don't fully understand it, can feel it. They can feel the lack of truthfulness and they won't buy it. So if you want to sell and you want to be true powerful marketeer, you need to understand how to incorporate all those sides, all those truths into the coherent message that you're propelling. People want to be in front of people that are wholesome, not half of it. That's why certain Disney stories, for example, are so powerful because they show different sides of the character, right? Let's think about Pinocchio, for example. Pinocchio's story is quite unique. It shows a boy coming to terms with its own lies, and that makes it profoundly human, profoundly relatable, right? So brands and messages that can do that, they will be far, far more impactful than the ones that are only in the surface, only on the bright side. And back to the professionals. I must confess, I've seen meetings that I'm having with my peers at work that I try to keep composure. I try to act as if I know what I'm doing. And those meetings often end with me feeling battered by the end, end with me feeling regretful that why I did not say this or did say that. And in these other meetings that I speak my truth and I speak coherently what I truly believe, those are the ones that move the needle, that I get things done that I was actually hoping to get done. So I invite you to do the same. I invite you to do your own shadow work and to face this side so you can improve your professional self, improve yourself as a leader, improve yourself as an executive, improve yourself as a professional, improve your marketing, what you're trying to accomplish, right? If you do that and you face those shadow moments and shadow sides of yourself and the people around you, then you can finally see something integrated that's wholesome and much, much powerful that people will actually connect. This video closes the shadow work, but I strongly recommend you to watch the part 1 so you understand the story, the wedding that originated all that discussion. Or maybe watch the part 2, where we go a little bit deeper about ourselves and I share a personal story that happened to me that I screw up with my family and allowed me to start knowing more about shadow work. If you like this video, please share with more folks so we can all embark in this journey together to actually implement the shift that this world needs. You probably are in a moment of your life that you're accomplishing that same turning point, the same shift, and I invite you to join the movement. This is not about me, not about you. It's about a larger shift that this world needs. And now is the time for us to get together and do it. Thank you for watching this video. Comment below what of emotional patterns are you seeing to surface in your work, in your professional life. Welcome to the shift.